Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video of the Osmoth. Today we're gonna redo the top 10 best tanks in Tankery, because I did get a lot of people that have said that the most of the tanks in the top 10 list were overpowered tanks. Unfortunately, yes, I did pick overpowered tanks. I didn't do it on purpose, but yes, I did pick overpowered tanks. So now we're gonna do the list again. Start with T100. Before you all start rowing and flooding the comments with saying that the T100 is a pretty good tank, it is a good tank. It really is a good tank. But there are a lot of bad things about the tank. Like, it really is. There really is. Starting with the gun. Just, oh man. The gun.
Enemy forces have captured a zone.
It's yeah. Okay, it's a 128mm gun. But it's scripted, so it does the exact same damage as this tank and this tank. No, it's not meant to. It's meant to do average damage for this gun is 490 average damage. The average damage for the T110E5 is meant to be 390, and then for the T10, 440 damage with the M62 T2. So this 12.8cm gun is underwhelming. It's got a not a horrifically bad damage per minute, but it's bad. This thing gets out DPM'd by most heavy tanks. The penetration is actually pretty bloody good, actually. I mean, you could go right through most things. The thing that makes this tank is the hit points. It has the most amount of hit points in this game. 2,700 health points. That's outstanding for a tank. That's really bloody good for a tank. And then we get to the armor end, and it just all starts going downhill from here. 200mm of whole armor at the front, 100 at the rear, 150 at the sides. Same for the turret, 200 at the front, 100 at the rear, 150 at the sides. You are going to get penned by so many tanks. Even tier 3 tanks and even some tier 2s are going to go right through the rear of your tank. So if this guy just fucks off, really. So the only good armor part about this tank is the gun mantlet. It's 350mm. Then you have to get through 200mm of toe armor. That comes to 550mm if you hit the gun mantlet. There's no way you're getting through that. The only tank I could think that can get through that is the MBT-70. That's the only tank I can think that can get through this part. But if you want to kill this thing from the front, and you got more than 200mm of pen, go for the turret, go for the hole. It's so easy to kill this thing. So acceleration rate is pretty decent, actually, 37. The top speed is, yeah, that's another thing that makes this tank not very good. 30 kilometers an hour. Yeah, that's just no. And so this is why this tank is my number 10. It's not a good tank at all. The gun's good, the health points are good, the armor is alright, but so I'm gonna move on to the next tank. And the last video I did say that there was some tanks that were overpowered including this thing is fucking ridiculous. It's a light tank that can do 77. It has 19 acceleration. So this thing, I'm not even going to put this in this list because this thing is broken. Same with the Super Sherman and say the AMX 3090. I'm not having that in my list. AMX 1375. I might actually add the AMX 1390s. Let's actually go through the AMX 3090 right now. Okay, this is number 9 spot. Okay. The reason why this is number 9 spot is because one, I mean, gunman armor, nothing. So, if you hit this bit here, if a KV2 hits you, you are dead. You are dead. KV2 doesn't even need to click the trigger. He just needs to sneeze at you and you are dead. 50mm of hull armor, 25 at the rear, and I think it may be 37.5mm at the side. Same with the turret, 50, 25, 37.5. I just don't understand. The DPM is amazing. It's 5,000 DPM because this is an autoloader, and everybody hates this bloody machine, and I know why they hate it, because this thing can clip you in cough and things like that. And then we get to the bad stuff again. 200mm of pen.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
Yeah, you're not going to be getting through a lot of things with that. I mean, it's got the same pen as the MX 1375. Acceleration rate is pretty good at 23. It's good, but this tank is prone to flipping over. It literally is. I'm not even joking. The amount of times I've flipped over in this tank is stupid. The health points for this tank is also pretty low. The armor is crap, as I've just said before. The only good things about this tank is its gun and its top speed. So what about this tank? Everything else is crap. It really is. The armor is crap. The health points are crap. The pen is rubbish. The acceleration rate is it's alright. I mean, the acceleration rate is more than alright. Is above average. Top speed is pretty good. And the gun is, well, 5,000. If you can pen with every single shot with this gun, because each shot is an average of 240 damage. Okay. So if you pen with every shot, so let's work this out. Okay. So let's go on here, and I'm gonna go on the calculator. So we do, let's say 200. What, 240 times, is it 5 shells? I think it's 5 shells. That's 1,200 damage. You could take off just under half the health of an E100 quite easily. Literally quite easily. You can this tank. I know that most of you could be saying, like, why the hell are you putting it rank 9 or place 9? Because the armor's crap, the health is crap, the DPM is pretty bloody good, the pen is crap. You flip over so many times in this thing. So this, maybe I should have put the AMX 1375 as rank 9. But the reason why this thing is better, okay, is because it reloads faster. I forgot to tell you about the reload to this thing. The reload of this tank is a minute. You literally need to drive around the battlefield for 55 seconds to reload this gun. That's how stupid the reload is. It is so stupid that you might as well just pick up an AMX-30-75, because this tank takes what, roughly 32 seconds to reload this 75mm gun, and it's not a bad tank actually. It's got the same 200mm pen. It's got nearly half damage per minute because this is 75, so you're going to be hitting for about 200 and 100 and between 190 and 200 damage. Yes, the armor is again not very good, but the health pool, yes, not very good. Acceleration rate is again the same as the 3090. Top speed is is 14 kilometers an hour slower. But I don't know what it is about this tank. I don't know what this tank. When you're driving this tank, I don't know why, but it feels like it can pen a lot more. I've been able to pen the gun mantlet of an ISD, and I'm not even joking you. I've penned the gun mantlet of an ISD with this thing. Now driving this thing, the shells go all over the place with this tank. They really do. The accuracy on this tank is crap. For a light tank. But I suppose people don't take that into account about the accuracy of tanks. The accuracy on this tank is actually better. This thing can snipe. The shell velocity is a little bit less, but it's got better accuracy, better reload time, and this thing is hard to hit. The same with this thing. This thing is slightly bigger, but it's hard to hit. So I might swap it around. Okay, just to make you guys feel better, I'm gonna swap it around. So the AMX-3090 is number 8, AMX-3075 is number 9. Okay, is everybody cool now? Everybody calm? Good. Go away. So next tank we're gonna look at is a tank that I don't know. Ferdinand. Okay. Ferdinand. Now this tank isn't really overpowered, but it's got a quick fire 88mm gun. Now nowadays with, like, you know, the Leopard 1, the Spaz Panther, guns that have more than 200mm of pen are going to go right through us. If you hit the gun mantlet, you are stupid. You are flipping stupid, because you've got 200mm here. This is 200mm thick, this plate here, and you got to get through another 200mm. That's 400mm of armor. This thing is ridiculous. I mean, yeah, of course, if you hit here, you're just gonna kill him. If you hit here, what are you doing? Seriously, don't hit here, because it's 400mm thick. Don't hit here. I mean, of course, if you're at a BT-70, just aim at him. Just click the trigger. You're gonna go right through. And some people have been telling me that the side of the tank is the same amount of armor as the front. Not true. That is not true at all. 200mm of frontal hull armor, 100mm at the rear, 150 at the side. Same with the turret. Somehow this is the turret. Somehow the entire part here is the turret. I mean, like, okay, so it's 200, 100, 150, 200, 150, 100. Okay. The gun, 2,200 DPM with a crew level 10. Now, normally this tank would have about a 1,900 DPM. That's pretty good. Better than Tiger. And it's better than Tiger 2H. And it's better than the Jaeger Panther. This tank kicks. It really does. Now, is it better than the... No. Yeah, it is. It's What about the... Oh, the Panther 2 isn't even in the game yet. Stupid. So... Now you're all probably typing the shit into the comment section saying, you are stupid. You don't know how to class tanks. I gotta give it to you. I probably am stupid, okay? I probably am stupid. But at least I make videos for you guys. At least I make videos for you guys. So, the reason why the Ferdinand is at number 7 is because I really despise this machine. Because in the early days when you didn't have all these overpowered tanks, this tank was amazing. It really was amazing. You had 200mm of armor all around the tank. Now the new features come in. This tank is crap. You get flanked in this machine, and a tank that has, I don't know, Panzer 4H, 135, gotta go right through the rear of this tank. Pretty much. It's just gonna go right through. This tank it turns alright, but it's still a slow turn. The only good thing about this tank is the gun, really. And it's got a pretty decent speed of 30. Not the best, but average pen is 200. Acceleration rate is normal, 57. Again, not the best acceleration rate, but it's not as bad as like the E5. Now, we're gonna go on to the number 6, and we're gonna go to the RU. Okay. Again, don't fill up the comment section saying that I'm fucking stupid and shit like that, because seriously, I've been getting enough of that. So this tank, it's a good tank. It's fast. It's maneuverable. It's got a pretty decent 90mm gun. I think it's a DK9. But it's got 1,100 hit points for a tier 6 light tank. Tier 6, it's got 1,100 hit points. And then, so it's got 52mm of frontal hull armor. Hang on, 52 divided by 2 equals 26mm at the rear. Okay, and I'm not sure what the side would be, but 17mm of gun mantlet armor. Oh my god. Toe armor is 25 at the front, 12.5mm at the rear, and 17mm at the side. I'm not entirely sure. This gun, for 90mm, it takes a really long time to reload. It's actually a worryingly long time to reload this gun, actually. 215mm pen. That's just not good for tier 6. It is just not. You're not going to be able to do anything, really. I mean, you could pen like a couple things, like an E50, a good couple things, but again, a lot of people use this tank to seal club people, and I see why. 70. You just look at this right now. 70 kilometers an hour. This thing moves. It is quick. It's agile. You can get out of situations pretty fast. Of course, the acceleration rate is pretty bad, but that penetration, even though it's 215mm, you can work with that penetration. But it's got 1,785 DPM. This gun does roughly 240 average damage. So you could hit for 300. But, again, it's going to be rare hit for 200. Just like the MX-3090 with its 90mm. If I were going to say, if like somebody asked me, like, what is best light tank to go for? If you want to seal club the hell out of people, just annoy people, you want to pick the RU251. Because even though the MX-3090 looks absolutely amazing with its 5,000 DPM, with its 90mm gun that fires 5 rounds. It takes a flipping minute to reload this gun. Just no. Just no. No, just no. The RU-251, definitely a tank that you're gonna want to actually work towards because it is a fun tank. So that's why it's at my number 6. I could put it at number 5, but if it had a better acceleration rate, I would put it at number 5. So we're gonna move on to the next one, and that's the Indian Panther. Yeah. How do I explain this thing? The Indian Panzer has a long barreled 90mm gun. Yeah, 90mm. It has one of the best penetrations in the game. 288mm pen. That is amazing. You can cut right through the turret of, I mean, even a MBT-70 that people are saying is completely bloody overpowered and it's completely broken. This thing, if you want to kill an MBT-70, just pop in this thing and you slaughter it. There are a couple of setbacks about this tank. Its armor is garbage. Its armor is bad. It really is crap. 90mm at the front of the hull, 45 at the rear. I'm not entirely sure what the side. I think that's probably like 67mm at the side. 1300 hit points. Go to the 50, 1600. We go to the Centurion 7.1, 1700. We go to the M40E5 Patton, 2000. These are 200, sorry about that. The T95E6, 2000. 2000. So, this tank is really low on hit points. It is like... You have to be careful with this tank. It's a good tank, but you need to be careful about those hit points. If you get hit in cough, you will get smashed. Quite literally. It's got a pretty decent DPM, 1900 DPM. Again, not the best DPM, but it's pretty decent. Penetration, as I said before, one of the best penetrations in the game. Absolutely amazing. Of course, the MBT-70 with its 534mm of pen is just going to absolutely stumble you. There's not even. I don't even have the MBT-70 right, so don't even ask me to review it. Because, for one, I can't even earn it, okay? For two, I don't want it, because I don't want to turn into like this seal clubber, okay? Because I think that the MBT-70 is a seal clubbing tank, even though the people that own it don't seal club in it, okay? They don't, so don't spam them with hate message because they do not seal club. They only take it out, like, maybe a couple times like, when they play. So, this tank, it's got a good acceleration 28. The top speed, don't expect to get anywhere fast. 55 kilometers an hour. That's good speed, but it's nothing like a Leopard 1 or E50 or even the RU. Okay, these three tanks can get to areas faster, and they have better guns, but they don't have better penetration. Let me rephrase that. Two of the three tanks don't have better penetration. The Leopard 1, for some reason, has 288mm of pen. Anyway, the Indian Panzer is an alright machine, okay. The gun mantlet is absolutely massive. If somebody hits the gun mantlet, not only do they have to get, again, not only do they have to get through 9mm of armor on the mantlet, they have to get through 9mm of toe armor. That's 180mm right there. So, Yeah, good luck with that, some of you guys. Trying to get through the gun mantlet of Indian Panther. So that's why it's at my number 5 spot. It's an absolutely amazing tank. Again, not the best, but... So...
Allied forces have captured a zone.
don't even flood the comment section, okay? This tank is broken. It really is. And I don't know why I put it at number 4, but I'm going to put it at number 4 because I am. The Conqueror has, is it the second or third most amount of health at tier 6? I think it has more. No, the E100 is tier 5 and that has more health. 2200 HP or 2200, whatever you want to put it. 343mm of whole armor at the front. You're not getting through that because you can't. I mean, some of you guys may say, "Oh, I got an MBT-70," but you're gonna have to prove that. You gotta have to prove that you got an MBT-70, and I doubted that you do. But 343mm at the front, and don't go for the low glaciers, you water tank players, because it's the same armor at the front of the low glaciers. Aim for the turret, because you do not, for the love of this game, don't hit the gun mantlet, because just like what we talked about the Indian Panther, you've got 200mm of gun mantlet armor, and you got 152mm of turret armor. That's 352mm of armor right here. Yeah, don't aim for the gun mantlet. What you want to aim for, if a Conqueror's looking at you, you want to aim for the cheek here, or the component. If you see that component, you go for that component. You hit that component, and you hit him over and over and over again until he is dead. This tank, if you can't see the turret, but you can see the hole, don't shoot the hole. Please don't shoot the hole. Don't make yourself look like an idiot. Don't shoot the hole, okay? If you see the rear of this tank, the hole, but you can't see the turret, hit it. Just you go right through it. You go right through the hole of this tank at the I do think that this tank is a slight nerf with its whole armor, but I mean, again, it might upset a lot of people. So it's got a pretty bad DPM. Okay, pretty bad DPM of 1100. That's bad, but it has a 120mm Royal Ordnance quick-fire cannon. It's an L1A1 cannon. I have to think there for a second. Sorry about that. And what makes this gun special is it says it's got 1100 DPM, but this thing actually reloads pretty good. It's a tank destroyer gun basically. This thing hurts when it smacks you in the face. 259mm of pen. Oh my god, this thing just cuts through anything that butter. It really does. It's gonna struggle with like T10 gun mantlet armor. Of course, the gun mantlet is pretty small, but if you hit the turret, you're gonna go right for the turret. The whole armor, little bit difficult, but if you've got the side of D10 like that, you hit here, you're gonna go right through his. Give me a second, guys. You are going to go right through his whole armor if he's at a slight angle. So the Conqueror, I like this tank personally, and just to let you guys know, this is a personal top 10 tank list. This is personal, okay? I will try and do a subscribers top 10 per favorite tanks. I will try and do that. But so 28 acceleration. That's pretty good. That is pretty good for this tank. Top speed is 34. That's better, but it's not going to get you out of situations pretty quick. So the Conqueror, I do like it because of this gun. I don't know, it's something about the gun. Like, you aim for somebody, you hit them, you do damage, you reload, you hit them again, you do damage again. This gun barely fails me, actually. It doesn't really fail me at all. I mean, of course, when I hit like I don't know, like the turret of not the turret, but the whole of another Conqueror or something like that, or T10 or whatever, it's going to bounce off. But overall, it's an okay tank. Could do use a couple of buffs and a couple of nerfs and things like that, but it's a pretty good tank. So that's our number 4. So we're gonna move on to number 3, and number 3 spot. This is God, this is actually pretty close because the E5 and the T10, they are practically the same machine. The T10's faster, the E5 reloads faster? What is so significant about the E5? Have more health, does it? Yeah, has more health. So I'm gonna jam these two into the number 3 spot, okay? These two into the 3. So we're gonna go for the T110E5 first. And this tank is dangerous to me. It really is. I mean, I know some of you may say, oh no, it's not dangerous, it's not dangerous. I fired this tank before, like at its hull or like here, and I haven't penned. This tank is ridiculous. But there was one big weak spot. See if you guys can point out what's the weak spot on this tank. I'm gonna give you 5 seconds. Alright, I'll tell you where it is. It's this big globule of stuff right here. You hit that, you're gonna really hurt it because it's only 127mm at the front. The gun mountlet basically covers the entire turret. If you are lucky enough to hit this part here, you're gonna be damaged to it. Don't bother aiming for the hole. If you have more than 254mm of pen, then yeah, go for the hole. But again, if you don't aim for the hole. 1666 DPM. That's pretty good for a tier 6 heavy tank, actually. It's got 2200 health. Again, that's pretty good. And it's got 120mm gun. I don't know the name of the gun, but all I know is a 120mm gun. It's got 280mm of pen. Now, if I remember correctly, before the armor update was put in, I believe this had 288mm of pen. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it had 288mm of pen before the armor update. The acceleration rate is absolutely awful on this machine. 83 out of 100. This thing takes so long to get up to 34 kilometers an hour. And then when you stop, you have to go back up to 34 kilometers an hour. It takes you about 4-5 seconds. This thing, it just will not move. But hopefully, Greg will implement a new armor system where the T110E5 will become the true terror of the battlefield. Because if he does add in a new armor model where the turret armor is going to be amazing, this thing will go hold down, and you will not pen this thing unless you hit here, of course. Then you pen it. But yeah, this thing is just bloody ridiculous with its gun. The armor is kind of here, but this thing is alright actually. It's a pretty good tank. So we're going to move on to the T10 in the same spot as the T110E5 because they're both practically the same machine. It's just they've got different stats. 1700 hit points for tier 5 machine. Yeah, tier 5. That's pretty low. It's not badly low, but it's you know, it's not really there. But it has a superb gun. 260mm of frontal hull armor, 130 at the rear, 157mm of frontal turret armor, 367mm of Patton armor. That's amazing. That really is amazing. I mean, of course, if you're silly enough to shoot the gun mantler, not only do you have to get through 367mm, but you have to get through 157mm. And that's a lot of armor. That's about 500mm, 513, 514. Or was it more than that? I think it's more than that. I'm not entirely sure. DPM is 1500. With a crew level 12, of course. It's a little bit lower than that when it's stock. But this is a M62 T2. And it is a pretty good machine, actually. The gun is devastating. I mean, it's got 250mm of pen. That's a pretty good pen, actually. Acceleration rate, again, just like the E5, it's not the best. It's better than the E5, but this is where the tank really shines, is it's got 50km/h speed limit. This thing moves. And for a tank that has so much armor, a good gun, good penetration, this thing is deadly. I think it's even more deadly than the E5. The bad thing about this tank is it practically has no gun pressure whatsoever. And the muzzle velocity is actually, it's not the fastest and it's not the slowest, but it's mediocre. So the T110E5 and the T10, they're alright machines actually. Practically the same, but in different forms, really. So we're gonna move on to the number 2 spot, and number 2 spot probably have to go with the Centurion 7-1. So I was just looking at the M48E5 and I was thinking, well, maybe I could put that rank 2. I may put that again equal rank with the Centurion 7-1. So I'm gonna go over the Centurion 7-1. Everybody hates this machine. When you meet this machine, it's gonna hurt if it hits you. It's gonna hurt if it hits you. 1720 health points is pretty good for rank 5, tier 5 main battle tank, but again, not the best. It's got 120mm of hull at the front, 90mm at the side, at 60 at the rear, 89mm of frontal turret armor, 200mm of gun mount armor. Just hit here. you should be able to go right through it. But the gun mantlet armor box does ever so slightly come up here. So if you fire here, it may not be able to go through because it's 289mm thick. This tank has a 105mm quick-fire raw ordnance cannon, and it's a lethal gun. It's similar to the Conqueror, but instead of being a 120mm, it's a 105mm tank destroyer gun. It's got a DPM of 2,329, and that is actually pretty bloody good for this tank. The reload is alright. Just like the Leo basically has the same gun, but it's got an L7A1, so it's basically got a copy. And the Leo, even though it reloads slightly faster than the Centurion 71, it doesn't do the same amount of damage as the Centurion 71. It's going to, essentially, it's going to be completely outperformed by the Centurion 71. Not by speed, but by firepower. This thing hurts. It hits you. Of course, the Leopard one has 288mm pen, but this thing has 254. So you'll be able to cut through a lot of things. It has an acceleration rate of 28, and I believe that the Leopard one has better. Yeah, it has an acceleration rate of 18. Oh my god. But this thing can do 40. Not the best. It really is not the best. I found that underwhelming for this tank. Bearing in mind, this is a crew level 13, so it could be about on par with the Leopard. Let's actually have a look at the Leopard. No, actually, no. It would still outperform the Leopard if they were both stopped. But this thing has 10 degrees of gun depression. Okay, 10 degrees of gun depression. This thing, when I'm driving this thing, all I do is sit on a ridge and I just hit the enemy and then I back off. Everybody hates me doing it because they know they're going to die. If they get into cover, then yeah, they're safe because I'm an absolute wuss and I just sit behind a ridge. I did actually have somebody say to me that I'm an absolute CUNT and I'm a BITCH. The reason I'm spelling them out is because they are very strong words, but I'm not going to name and shame this person because I think that is wrong. But anyway, we're gonna move on to the next tank. It's going to be the same rank as the Centurion 71, and that's the A5 Patton. Now, some of you that remember that the A1 Patton used to have this gun, yeah, it had actually pretty good DPM. It had 1900 DPM for a stock crew level. This thing is bloody annoying. I mean, when it's got stock crew level, it's got barely 1600 DPM. It is rubbish. Not in every aspect. The gun's good. It hits really hard, and it's got good penetration. The only thing that lets this down is the DPM. The armor is good. Good hull armor, good toe armor, good gunman armor, good health points. Top speed is alright. Acceleration rate, again, alright. The real letdown for this tank is the DPM. It is absolutely critical that you hit with every shot with the M48A5 Patton. If you miss a shot, you are dead. The reload on this thing is worse than the Centurion 71. It's worse than the T68. It has worse reload time than the E50. And the E50 was renowned for having the worst reload time for all the high tier medium tanks. But now the M48A5 Patton has taken the crown for the worst reload time of all of the high tier mini tanks. But other than that, this machine is pretty good. I would actually recommend the M48A5 or the Centurion 7.1. They're both good machines, but we're going to move on to another machine that is actually quite competitive against these two machines, and that's the Leopard 1. Even though it doesn't have the same ridiculous alpha damage as the M48A5 Patton or the Centurion 7.1, it's got the highest penetration round of all the higher tier medium tanks. 288mm. Yes, it's a main battle tank, but I consider it as a medium tank. It's the same as the Centurion 7.1, that's a medium tank. The A5 is a main battle tank. So we're just going to say that it's the best out of all the medium tanks. 2,000 hit points, 131mm of frontal hull armor, that's an odd number. 43mm of toe armor. A tier 1 can penetrate this. 87mm of gunman armor. This thing is made of paper. The armor is crap on this thing. It really is. It's bad. DPM is 2,000. But this is a crew level 13, so it's a good tank, but because it's a copy of the L1A1 gun on the Centurion 7.1, it's not gonna, you know, outperform it. It is actually worse. But the penetration is better because this tank in the game actually fires APFSDS, while the Centurion 7.1 fires APDS. Now, if you don't know what those stand for, the APFSDS is actually armor piercing, fin stabilized, discarding saber or sabot. APDS is basically armor piercing, discarding sabot, or saber as people call it. So this is why this thing has such a insane penetration. It has one of the best acceleration rates at high tier. It just really does. This thing moves. It's got 65 top speed. The gun depression angles is about 8 degrees, so it's not as good as the Centurion Mark 7.1, and not as good as the, nowhere near as good as the M48A5 Patton, because that has 11 degrees of gun depression. But the Leopard 1 is quick. It's a quick machine. You can run rings around a heavy tank. And if it starts turning its turret towards the other way, then you just start reversing, or you turn your tank around and you start running rings around him again. But this tank, even though it does less damage per shot than like the L1A1 gun or the Centurion 7.1 or the, I think it's called the M68 on the M48A5. I think it's called the M68. But this thing is quick, it's nippy. No armor, practically no armor. DPM is alright. Alpha damage is a bit low. Health is alright. Pen is insane. I mean, you can pen the turret of a MBT-70. And I've been seeing a lot more Leopard 1s driving around. And I think that's because people want to kill an MBT-70 with this thing. But all those tanks are rank 2. Now, the tank that's going to be rank 1 is a lot of people that ain't going to, I'm probably going to get hate mail going for this. The T62A. This is probably the best all-round tank in the game. It's got good armor. It's got good DPM. 2,200 hit points. That's heavy tank standard hit points. This thing can do 50, and it has armor that will make a heavy tank cry. Really, it's got 245mm of gun mount armor. It's got an average pen of 264. That's good. Acceleration rate is a little bit near. 41 is. That's the only thing I can see is a little bit of a letdown with this tank is the acceleration rate. Other than that, everything else is top notch really. Pretty good tank. The gun depression does suck on this thing. It's really bad. It's about 3 degrees gun depression. The turret turns blindingly quick. The traverse speed is a little bit slower than the left one, but it's still pretty fast. But other than that, it's an absolutely amazing machine. And it is really a good all-round machine. I mean, it could do the job of a heavy tank. It could do the job of a light tank. It could do the job of a medium tank. It could even do the job of a tank destroyer. Now that may sound stupid, but this thing is you can be a defensive tank, a offensive tank, a support tank, a sniper, a close combat tank. You can be anything you want in this tank. This tank does it all. It really does. Now I'm not saying that the other medium tanks can't do it, but they do it not as well. But this tank is absolutely amazing. Now if you can hear that in the background, that is my brother Thomas. He is severely disabled with epilepsy and autism. So if you please do not flood the comments with saying, oh, do you have a retarded brother or anything like that, because that will severely hurt me. But I thank you guys for watching the video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you hated this video, give it a thumbs down. And I would love to hear your opinions on this top 10 list on Tankery. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you again in the next video.